Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching Prison Break. This is a 12th episode of the first season. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you'd like to watch today's full episode, it is available for free in the link in the description below. Just click on it, put a password in and enjoy. As always, we do post it daily on the Patreon and weekly on the YouTube. Hope you guys have been enjoying those uploads so far. So, last episode we ended very interestingly with basically Michael saying that there's too many people to obviously take part in the escape. How did he come to this conclusion? Well, interestingly, you know, he had a visitor inside a prison. We learned that he's technically married, but he's not really married in terms of like somebody that he's got affection for. But it seems like he's found somebody who needed a green card and basically cut a deal. And she's coming to prison for a conjugal visit, just like we see Sucre and, you know, his girlfriend. And basically, she slipped him a credit card. Now, why does he have a credit card in prison, you might ask? Well, it turns out it's actually not a credit card, and he's actually used it himself prior to actually getting there to put codes on and information, and it's a swipe card. He's peeled off the front of it and he's actually used it to access documents and files. Basically, do you know when you go inside of the prison and they say like you got a watch, you know, you got a cell phone, you got a wallet, they all put it and bag it up. Well, he's gone there, you know, he's tried to get all his information, and basically he's figured out his watch has been stolen. Now he's seen one of the guards and they've actually got it on them, so he's gone to the new guy that's come in, he's trying to fit in everywhere. Do you know, the one that Teabag's tried to actually basically get into hold his pocket now, which Michael obviously beat him up a couple of episodes back and was saying that he better leave him alone. He's actually got him, who's apparently really good at sleight of hand, pickpocketing, to basically steal the watch back in a chance to possibly get some time on PI, you know. So he's done that, he's given it back to Michael. He's used all these little, you know, basically Michael's used his engineering, would you call it engineering, or basically craftsmanship, I don't even know, mate. Smart anyway. He's dissected the watch, he's wrapped it around something, and he's used it as a little recorder. He's planted it outside and he's waited for the guards to walk back and forth, and now he's figured out that he's got 18 minutes from the time that they basically escape out the tunnel to get to the office, to get out, across, and on their escape. Now, obviously, he's trying to figure out that the bars and the window take X amount of time. You know, if it takes 2 minutes per person to pass over the wire, it means that currently in their team that they've got too many people. Now, interestingly, I kind of tried to do that equation myself prior to Michael actually explaining that, and I was saying that they will be pushing it, but technically they should just have a hierarchy, and Michael should say, look, me and Lincoln were first, it was our idea. Abruzzi, sorry, second, do you know what I mean? Maybe Sucre, and then bang, 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 and go down the list like that. If you join last, you know, Sino, you are last, you know what I mean? Teabag, you're next, and go like that. But it's not going to be like that, is it? It's going to be every man for themselves. They're all going to be fighting to be the first over. I don't know who they're going to drop. It's going to be interesting though. Will it reveal this information? I don't know, but it is exciting. You know, we've seen the doctor Sarah, she found out that he's potentially married, or seen him that with somebody, which means her feelings got hurt a little bit, and basically she said that their relationship is no longer going to be some sort of, you know, back and forth friendly banter type of one, just strictly doctor patient, no other conversations in between. So that'll be interesting to see as well. Right, check out today's episode. If you do enjoy it, please smash a like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into today's episode.
Impressive resume. Tell me why you chose to pursue a career in engineering.
I've always been interested in structure. How an object that performs a function can also be a work of art.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
One suit, black.
Must be nerve-wracking going up and down the tunnels just in case you get caught while you're practicing. I mean, it's technically really clever how he's hid that inside of his jacket, but would you not think they would have felt it?
That baby boy all growed up yet? Things are getting pretty tense. Like they're fixing to collide, you know what I mean, Jimmy?
Found our access to the infirmary building, but I'm gonna need some time to make it work. And once we get through the pipe below the guards room, it'll be a whole lot easier.
All 7 of us can't break over that wall in 18 minutes. You said it yourself.
I know.
Mind if I share that with the rest of the class? So one of us is in here digging, but his seat ain't guaranteed.
We need to make a decision on who gets cut.
It smells a little like conspiracy. I called up my guy on the outside, and if he don't hear from me 5 minutes before the escape and 20 minutes after, I told him to call up the ward and blow the whistle on the whole thing.
Again, you know, I've said it once, I'll say it again. You got to have a hierarchy system. You know what I mean? Like, why is Cino as well so concerned about going in there and cutting one or telling it to the group? You know, I would have kind of tried to use it to manipulate my position. in the escape line, if that makes sense. So I was making sure that I was before everybody else and straight after Michael and Lincoln. That's what I would have done anyway, but he's got in there and spilled the beans for everybody. Now, the fact is, you know, all these, having it known to the open, would make them potentially go a little bit quicker. Do you know what I mean? You definitely don't want to be last in the line. But again, you know, Michael has been down here in the tunnel, and you see him stick that bag kind of like against that wall to block that little hatch. Now, if that big service pipe thing wasn't there that he slid down, I think there was a tap in the corner, and if he has to rise that high, I was thinking that maybe he could turn it on, it fill up with water, and then he gradually go with it, wouldn't it, and swim to the top. Now, I don't know where it goes, and I don't know if it would be totally obvious. Maybe he can somehow turn the water off where it's just below so he can reach it, but like, it doesn't come through the grid, if that makes sense. But he would have to somehow block the big chute that he come down, so it will be interesting to see.
Son of a bitch has got a counter move for everything.
Odd man out. Look who you walking with right now. You know, Schofield is only here for one reason. His brother. He just happened to be in the same cell when he got here.
I don't know about you, but I'm going.
How much does he tell you anyways?
He tells me everything.
Then you don't need him. Now we can go by ourselves.
See, he knows what's going on, like he's been there from the start, and like he's took loads apart. I've not seen him do anything apart from dump a bit of debris behind the plasterboard.
What do you want me to do?
Get somebody now!
No, they see a bullet, they're gonna call the cops. Bullet, just find it and dig it out.
I can't.
What's the point in driving all the way to the hospital and doing it here? You could have done it back in the barn. He's finally succeeded in breaking through.
Couldn't find your credit card either. The one your whore wife trunked in the other day. No strip clubs and Waziristan?
Officer Bellick, mind conducting your inquisitions on your own time?
Just asking Mr. Schofield about the contraband he had his stripper wife trunked in the other day.
He's had it out for me since the day I got here. I only married her so she can get her green card.
You don't have to explain it to me, Michael.
But I want to.
You know what I can't understand is why somebody like you wants to get out of here anyway. How you gonna survive, huh? Bow out, cowboy. I'm not gonna warn you no more.
Records from the phone in the yard. James Bagwell lives down in Gary. The guy's gonna lock him up in a moving van for a couple of days until we're in the clear.
He just knows that they're all doing it behind his back, but he can't do anything about it.
You James Bagwell? Got a delivery for you.
He looks rough him, doesn't he?
I was going to call the police, but I wanted to speak with you first. He's in surgery right now. The blood loss has caused his muscle tissue to suffer from a lack of oxygen. He's also sustained a fair amount of damage to his shoulder, and with a bullet, there's always an increased risk of infections. I'll let you know as soon as he's in recovery.
Thank you.
The thing is that you can't blame them for going into the hospital. Like, to me anyway, like, that's what has to happen. She's not going to there dig it out and help him. He's suffering. Now, I don't get why you would have to lie to them and say that he was underneath the car. Just say that he was shot in the back, because he was, wasn't he? I'm pretty sure he was. Now, another interesting thing is, I don't think you have to give a name either. You don't even have to say you even know him. You could say you was walking in the woods and you seen him bleeding out. Do you know what I mean? You ran over and you brought him in. And you can not disclose who you are as well inside of the hospital. So, like, you know, they don't have to put records that, you know, he's in there for them, the Secret Service, to find that he's obviously been, what would you call it, like, took in and obviously left there for the night. If he keeps his name quiet, then they won't know he's there and he can still be treated, because surely they can't refuse somebody who's obviously injured. So it's an interesting one, but he left the page open just then. He obviously, like, she's going to find it that he's gone to the funeral. Maybe they're waiting as well. Maybe they're thinking, you know what, you know, if we advertise it, he'll see it, he'll want to go and say his final, like, goodbye. You know, everybody would want to do that with the movie funeral, won't they? So this is a good place for them to hide and scope out to maybe catch them.
You there yet? Almost. You remember, be patient, follow his lead. We want the trifecta today.
The guy was paranoid, he had a gun.
What, he's dead?
Yeah.
And a kid.
And unfortunately,
The kid was there.
There's a kid there. SOB used him as a shield.
How old?
4, maybe 5.
I wouldn't even tell anybody, me. I just bear that weight on myself. Do you know what I mean?
I came here because I have to tell you something. I'm pregnant, Fernando.
Oh, I knew she was going to say that.
Your baby. I'm gonna have your son.
Oh yeah, Papa, you hear that? I'm gonna be your dad.
I'm not finished.
Well, Mommy, what?
He asked me to marry him. And all I know is I'm really scared.
You're actually considering this.
Oh, baby.
Your hormone things, they're out of whack. You're not thinking straight. This is our child we're talking about.
I'd say hold out till next month. That's what I would say.
Hands off, Sucre.
You're all I got left in the world, baby. Please.
But you'll learn to love again, right?
Oh, that is not the answer that I wanted.
I don't know.
The kid's here. Perfect. Follow him back to the lawyers. Call me back.
Where are you going? I'll be back in 10 minutes. I want to go with you. I want to see now. Someone has to stay here. You're my cellmate. Who else is going to do it? I'll be back in 10 minutes, okay?
We're all lined up for tomorrow. Where do you want him? Tomorrow, where do you want Teabag? In the shop or in the shed?
I don't care.
Like an angel. So it does that water out, but that was midget. Like, literally nothing. See, you know, the thing is there with his situation, I know that he instructed the guy to go and kidnap the other guy. Basically, just throw him in a van and just keep him for a couple of days. But, like, that guy decided to kill him and kill the kid. Obviously, he said that he pulled a gun on him and he wasn't going willingly. So, obviously, they ended up being in a shootout and he used the kid as a shield and he killed him accidentally. And obviously, he's killed the guy. But, like, would you put any of that on John? Because I do think it's tough. It's a grey area. It really is. But, like, if I ask you to go and do something and then you decide in that moment that you're going to do something a little bit different, then whose fault technically is it? You know what I mean? Like, I always wonder that. Because I can instruct you to go and, I don't know, throw somebody in the back of the van. Just say, look, mate, he's going to speak. I need him to be quiet for the next day. You know what I mean? Get him in the back of the van, tie him up, and then, good, let him go. And then you go over and kill him, and I'm like, what the hell, mate? I never said kill him. You're the murderer, not me. You know, is it my fault as well? I don't know. Technically, I'm kind of involved, but, like, not to that extent. Do you know what I mean? That's proper extreme. I reckon this guy's going to be able to come to the hospital and kill all three of them here.
She didn't deserve this.
Thank you for waiting, Theodore. I don't mean to deny your time in the yard. I'm afraid I have some terrible news. Cousin James was shot and killed in his home yesterday. His son, James Jr., was killed as well.
Often the Lord appears when you're in particular need of forgiveness.
Yeah, maybe he blames himself for everything that's happening right now.
Revelation, chapter 3. Jesus said, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him."
This little thumbsucker that swiped my watch.
What was it in the first place? I don't care if you stole it. You can tell me.
Michael Schofield.
Can he put that around it? Yeah. So he thinks it'll take 3.5 minutes to fill up? Oh, it's doing what I said, but it's going over that hole. Maybe because it's on a slant like that, it doesn't actually go to the top and come out the pipes.
Get back to work.
That's moving up at a heavy pace, that.
All right, let's go.
Move it, Schofield.
Can't believe you done what I said, actually. I'm really happy about that. I mean, I thought that would have had to be blocked up, but it didn't. I'm thinking it's because it's on a slant now. He's reading the Bible and he's got a knife to go and try and stab someone.
When are we getting out of here exactly? I need to know the time.
As soon as possible.
As soon as possible, it's not a specific time. You tell ABRUZZI the time?
Yes.
Don't.
Because he's arranging the plane. Why the sudden curiosity?
Would you want to be responsible for potentially dangerous information?
I see notes in his head, but I don't understand how knowing the time is going to not help him and be potential dangerous information. Knowing the holes there is just as bad.
Stealing from a guard, throwing a shoe for that, maybe even add a few years to your bid.
Gonna give him a burger.
For you, I got some pull around here. I can make this sort of thing go away like it never even happened.
Just hate, like, people eating the way he's doing it. Don't mind watching it, but...
I'm sure you've heard the word rat. Needs a little information. Like when you're hanging out with Schofield. Just come back and tell me what he said.
Want a cheeseburger? Or you want to go to the shoe?
It's pretty much blackmail, really, isn't it?
That's my boy.
Remember when we first got married and we thought about moving out west?
Yeah, we were 22.
Well, maybe we should give it a shot. I'm tired of being on the road and working for somebody else while you sit at home all alone.
How you doing, Sucre?
Almost got it. Switch me out.
I was wondering how's he going to get in there without getting wet, but yeah, he's going to just basically get naked. Imagine if his rope wasn't long enough, you'd be fuming. It's mad that one little glance she could actually see him. It just never actually happens. See, I wonder what his plan is there to get out of that system. Like, is he gonna kind of like dangle down and shut the grid and dangle down the rope? I don't really know. His weight could pull the grid down. I'm not too sure. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's got to get out of that room, but I'm not too sure how. Now, it's interesting that he done all that graft, got all that water to go up there, to then let it all go out. I didn't think that was technically going to happen. I thought like he was going to use that room maybe quite a bit, do you know what I mean, to go up and maybe keep chipping away at that pipe or whatever that's underneath a thing. But that's interesting, do you know what I mean? He's got to get out of this room now when he's soaking wet. Another thing that I think is interesting is, I said already in the season, but that guy who was supposed to go in and kill all these, I was surprised that he killed LJ's mum, to be honest, because when he had the chance to kill, what's she called, Letitia or something, in the woods, he was hesitant. He couldn't do it, and it was the other serviceman that had to come in and kill him. And now, obviously, he's come here, and he's like, look, mate, we've got to go. And I'm pretty sure that his wife would know his situation, that he works. Maybe not to the extent of how deep his work is and how bad it is, but, like, you know, if he comes and says we've got to go, surely she knows that we've got to go. You would have those sit-down Phil place talks in place, you know what I mean? All these plans when you work in positions like that anyway. So, obviously, looks like they're all alive, but it's going to be interesting to see how his partner reacts, you know what I mean?
Don't hang up. I have information that you may be interested in. Information that will lead to the exoneration of Lincoln Burrows. This isn't a trap. I will tell you everything you need to know. Highland Cafe, 8 p.m.
Get out of here.
You don't have to do this.
The family's here and all the kids.
What about Jimmy? He had nothing to do with this. You didn't need to kill him. What about his beautiful son? Well, look, maybe I do deserve to die. Maybe I do. But you are no better than me.
But I can be. And maybe I should give you a chance as well. Back out.
Of the escape? I wouldn't make it out there anyway.
You hear me? I want you to give me your word!
You got it, John.
Yo, both of these are good actors, man. They actually are both really good. I want them both to escape.
All right.
Maybe he's going to attack him, I feel like.
Hey,
yeah.
John, you know actually about Jesus?
One little blade like that, you see how small it is? It's like a fingernail, but it's so sharp.
Both.
Hurry up.
He's going to be missing.
We're not ready.
Hey! What the hell's your problem?
How long's he going to get put in the shoe for now, though?
Well, we leave tonight.
We leave tonight?
Where's my brother?
Michael, we got a big problem.
I mean, technically, if you look at it, the two men down, they could probably get across now, aren't they? Bruce's bleeding out there, so he doesn't look like he's going to be in any position to actually escape anytime soon. Even if he gets found now and gets took to the doctor, do you know what I mean? Like, he's not going to be up and walking or be in a physical condition where he can actually run and put a bit of, I don't know, brute force into things, you know what I mean? Like, this is going to be a strenuous job, you know? You got to run, maybe fight against a couple of the guards, you know, break through the barriers, climb across that rope. It's going to put all the tenseness, you know what I mean, all the stress on your neck and everything. You know, you got to pull it, you got to run away. I mean, he's key to escaping as well, though. I reckon that if they get to wherever they're supposed to be going and to the planes, for example, and John doesn't turn up, then they're probably not going to fly off anyway. They're going to be like, why are we helping you? We're literally doing this for our guy, for a brute set. Do you know what I mean? So that's an interesting one. I mean, it's good that the table's kind of flipped, you know. It's something so small like that. You see that blade that he's hiding inside of his mouth? It's mad, isn't it? You know what I mean? It takes one little second and bang, you can be bleeding out, dying there. I'm actually really happy that T-Bag didn't get killed. Now, I'm not saying I'm happy that John's potentially dying, because I actually think that they're both the best actors so far, innit? You know, I said it before, I like Michael and he's a lead character, but like in terms of acting ability and what these do and the emotions that they show, unpredictability as well. That's what these two offer, unpredictability. With Michael, kind of know what's going on. You can see his plan, he's executing it, he's going for it, he's a strategist, you know what I mean? But with these, it's all reactionary, it's all momentary, and it's really interesting to see, do you know what I mean? Like this episode, John's seen the light, you know what I mean? Like he's instructed a guy to go and kidnap somebody basically for a couple of days so that after the escape they'd be okay if they could leave T-Bag behind. But it's all gone wrong and 2 people have died, well, a kid and an adult. And then obviously he's feeling guilt in himself, he's dreaming, he's bringing God into his life, he's seeing stuff on the wall which obviously nobody else can see, and he's like a changed man, you know what I mean? Give me a word, you know, that you'll just you know, that you won't come and you won't give us up, so to speak, and I'll let you live. And then boom, he's the one that's on the floor bleeding out. Interesting, didn't expect it to go that way, but I'm excited it did. Honestly, I'm excited it did go that way, because I actually don't think any of them are gonna die. I think it'd be a big loss to them, the show, anyway, if they did kill them off right now. So again, mate, it's going to be exciting to see what we do from here. Okay, that's going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. So, Michael, you know, executed his plan really well. He managed to fill up, what do you call it, the tank, I don't know, the drain. Now, I don't really know how he got back down into the tunnel, to be honest. I've been trying to figure out where he actually went. I understand he went up, but how's he got back down? Did he climb up into that little vent, you know, that was right underneath the doctor's office and then crawl through? If he did, that makes sense to me. I kind of get it, and maybe he needed that, you know what I'm saying, because it might be their way out. I still don't know how they're utilising that room, to be honest, in the whole escape plan. Now, I guess if they go into her office and drop down through that drain, they can bash through that bit of obviously metal, or he might have done that already with obviously the what would you call it, the liquids that he's been putting down there, and then they'll drop into that room, and then in that room I'm assuming that they take the grid off, and then maybe they go down the rope or something and drop into that place, but then obviously run through the tunnels. But I don't know, I feel like they need to be in her office technically to get out of her window, so I don't know if they're doing it in reverse, you know, up through that, up the rope, so to speak, through that bit, up into her office and then across. But it's gonna be interesting to see, honestly, it really is. Now Michael's come through, Lincoln's had to stall you know, the COs, he's had to punch one of them. It helped Michael obviously get through the floor, and he's buzzing, it's ready to go, let's do it tonight. But it can't be done. John's obviously bleeding out, Lincoln's obviously been taken away, and obviously that's for a spanner in the works. Now, interestingly, you know, Sucre is kind of been manipulated by Cino, which I think Cino's kind of annoying a little bit, if I'm being totally honest. He's the one that, if I would say I would dislike, which it obviously, like, I don't technically dislike anybody right now, but like if I was to say that, it would be him. You know what I mean? He's coming there and he's trying to act all tough like it's his plan, and he's got the right of way and he should be there right at the front. You know what I mean? But he shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Actually, reason why he's there is because he's seen them doing it and he kind of forced his way in, otherwise he was going to blab. You know what I'm saying? So like, he doesn't really have any kind of pull, and he's trying to manipulate Sucre, which I kind of get as well in certain situations. I don't understand why Michael wouldn't say, you know what I mean? So like, if Michael technically knows the date and time that he was going to potentially escape, why would you not relay that to the people that was you know, that was escaping with you, you know? Because he keeps saying, why do you want to be in charge of this dangerous information? Mate, what does it matter if you know what time you're escaping? You already know that there's a hole in your cell. You're already taking part in the digging process. You've already been in there bashing through walls. Like, I don't think that it's going to actually matter any way, shape or form, just knowing the date that you was leaving. So from their point of view, I kind of get where they're coming from. Now, from Sucre's point of view, he's paranoid now because his girlfriend's come. She said she's pregnant with his kid. He's loving it, mate. He's absolutely loving that he's going to be a dad. You can see him listing the names of the kids there. But she's turned around and said, look, mate, Hector's asked me to marry him and I'm thinking about doing it as well. And he's obviously like crying himself. He's fuming. Do you know what I mean? He's upset. He's asking her not to, and she don't even know. She said she's not made up the decision. So this is wanting him to get out even more, to speed it up even more. If I was him, I would have said, look, I'm going to be out in possibly like 30 days. If not, do you know what I mean? I'll give you permission to marry Hector then. Do you know what I mean? But he didn't do that. And now obviously it's up in arms. I would have had to relay something like that. Bellic's obviously looking into Michael a bit more. He's obsessed with him. Let's be honest. He's absolutely obsessed with him. He's still not doing anything with the Taj Mahal thing inside the Pope's office. I want to know like how that's going to fit into the story, and when's he going to find out that Michael's not doing what he's supposed to be doing. But going back to Bellic, obviously he's got this new guy. He called Tweener. I remember it was an episode called that when he joined in. I think that's his name anyway. He's got him on his side, you know, he's in there slobbering all over this burger, all over his face, eating the fries, and basically he's blackmailed him and said, look, mate, give me information about Michael after your conversations and, you know, we'll be sweet. you can have treats, you can have a burger. Look at this one here, you have this. But if you don't, you're going in the shoe, mate. Literally, it's your choice. Obviously, he's a new rookie, what do you call it, fish inside the prison, and you know, he's took it. He's going to be snitching. Now that's interesting because he was thinking that it wasn't, but it definitely is. And it's going to be quite fascinating to see obviously how his character progresses, because he's not really close to Michael right now. So how he's acquiring information, I'm not too sure. Michael's not going to relay any of the escape to him. I mean, if he brings him in on the PI, maybe, like, but then he said today it wasn't going to happen. So I don't know literally how they're going to get close to each other. But again, do you know what I mean? There's still loads to go. Is this episode 11? Is like double what we've watched already, basically. What we've watched, we still got left for the rest of the season. Loads and loads of stuff can happen in between. So very interested. Can't wait to see the next one. Thanks for checking out today's. If you did enjoy it, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.